A man can't walk in peace. They say how a turn in peace. A man don't deal with iniquity. Why they telling such a lie on me? Soon as me neighbor open door in the morning time, one song she singing all the time.
They say me neighbor making fire. They say the man is a vampire. They say the man is a Dracula.
They say that he coaching from Crystal. Who you referring to? I didn't talk to you, little Roo. They can't beat you. Oh, they can't beat you.
Everybody know you know Zopundo. Everybody know you know Zopundo.
I don't like the things some of them saying. Them school children say applying. My mama no believe in no kind of opium. Why they spoiling my bleeding neighbor? They say I'm dealing with black magic. How I open me door with a mouth stick.
They say me neighbor making fire. They say the man is a vampire. They say the man is a Dracula.
They say you get the coaching from Crystal. Who you referring to? I didn't talk to you, legal Roo. They can't beat you. Oh, they can't beat you.
Everybody know you love Zopundo. Everybody know you love Zopundo.
As soon as the man here start to get gray, they say you open door. Oh, the lying and people prove it. It's hard for them to prove. They judge your mind. I'm a man, I never use a razor. Now they calling me the night barber. I'm a man, don't believe in this kind of them say. Now they calling me a moo sharpling. They say I shaving, them women clean. Sticking their hair below the mansion.
They say me neighbor making fire. They say the man is a vampire. They say the man is a Dracula.
They say you get the coaching from Crystal. Who you referring to? I didn't talk to you, legal Roo. They can't beat you. Oh, they can't beat you.
Everybody know you know Zopundo. Everybody know you know Zopundo.
They say
Me neighbor making fire. They say the man is a vampire. They say this man is a Dracula.
they say you get the coaching from Crystal. Who you referring to? I didn't talk to you, legal Roo. They can't beat you. Oh. You're the full of muscle, the same hand giving trouble. You drink all the thing in the bottle. What you want me take and rub you? Young and elegant, she press me hard. She say pull it out into his man. Same hand used to punch me all under me belly. Woman, are you going mad? Why you massaging me so hard? Darling, you shouldn't ask me why. That same hand always make me cry. Girl, you're doing this thing too rough. Ease up, that's enough. If they call you man, push me out. You want me never to hear me mouth. You're living terrible. You getting paper what you do. What goes around comes around. The greatest weapon is human tongue. Remember when you were listening me? I tell you one day you will see. Same way you used to write me. The exchange is no robbery. Woman, are you going mad? Why you massaging me so hard? Darling, you shouldn't ask me why. That same man always make me cry. Girl, you doing this thing too rough. Ease up, that's enough. If they call you man, push me out. You want me never to hear me mouth. You have some behavior. Remember we close to the river. What you telling me that for? Lie down and take the pressure. Remember you lashing me for pet. I tell you women do not forget. She jam me on the position and she start to jump up me man. Woman like you going mad. Why you massaging me so hard? Darling, you don't ask me why. That same man always make me cry. Girl, you doing this thing too rough. Ease up, that's enough. If they call you man, push me out. You want me never to hear me mouth. I don't mind the massaging, but I don't like the rough handling. You riding me like a donkey and telling me take it easy. I try a pooper to get away. She said, don't try that lie donkey. When the neighbor heard the calling, she come and pull out island. Woman like you going mad. Why you massaging me so hard? Darling, you shouldn't ask me why. That same man always make me cry. Girl, you doing this thing too rough. Ease up, that's enough. If they call you man, push me out. You want me never to hear me mouth. Oh gosh, darling, you wicked ass girl. You want to do with that? Was a teacher before he become a doctor. He was an all-rounder and also a soldier. He gone to return all home, leaving friends and family to mourn. He died suddenly while attending to Dorothy. She say he died a hero. Plenty people don't know. When I saw Dr. G was dying, I took up like a jet plane. I run from Windsor to Balthazar before I find a driver. Was a nice man, was a loving man. He died with love and affection. Begging she said die happily. Wipe off from in his surgery. She said was a safety man. He died with gloves on his hand. She said was a real tiger. He take the tablet with full power. The man was a hero, but plenty people don't know. When I saw Dr. G was dying, I took off like a jet plane. From Windsor to Balthazar before I find a driver. Was a nice man, was a loving man. He died with love and affection. It's like what people might say, the best doctor that...
And good night to you, Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique. Once again, it is time for Talking Points.
Them people so terrible. Spread me.
My name is, no, I'm not Dr. G. My name is Sheldon Scott, and I'm here with you until the 10 o'clock hour. I know last night I said that was the last one until next week, Wednesday, but nah, we had to come on tonight. So many people messaged us and told us, nah, we need one on Thursday night. No, ball, you ain't getting one on Friday night. I'm telling all you. For sure, we're not on tomorrow night, yeah?
From Windsor to Baltus,
That I can guarantee you.
a finer driver was a nice man, was a loving.
We say a welcome home to all Grenadians and visitors to the Isle of Spice. Just remember when you're going back, Dr. G was a hero. Yeah. The late Abby.
Was a great physician, hot like a nutmeg in his profession. Was a very good charger, charging battery, he was the master. How could I forget he died while he sung in me. When my husband heard he dead, he take a drink and he shake his head. The man was a hero. Plenty people don't know.
And I'm saying a special good night to all of you who've joined us on the YouTube, the Facebook, those of you who joined us via We Noise Radio and We Noise Television. We say a special good night to all of you.
From Windsor to Balthazar, people are.
Not going to go into the roll call tonight, yeah.
He was a nice man, was a loving man. He died with love and affection.
And you know, today, I'll get into it in a little while.
Happened to me, it could have happened
Yeah, I'll really get into it in a little while.
to G soul, rest in peace.
Because I've seen quite a few things out today, and I realize there's a concerted effort, yeah, to twist facts and to put out a lot of lies, huh?
And I became me happy, me him rock all kind of routine. Granny look a band coming, night there while Indian they playing. Granny come and see action, you telling me about white Indian. Granny look diverse, whining like an octopus. Night there let go me hand and me show them how to take the pan. Dominate, dominate.
Yes, good night to all of you. Those of you listening in the Grenadian diaspora, good night to you. I'm seeing Texas, I'm seeing Florida, I'm seeing New York, I'm seeing Maryland, North Carolina. Good night to all of you. Good night to the Canadian listeners, wherever you are in Canada. All listeners over there in the UK, we say a special good night to you, the Giza, Irvin, the entire crew out there in the UK that tune in and listen on a nightly basis. We're saying a special good night to all of you.
Granny forget pot and fire. The young girl went down the minor. She say run and take it up. Don't let the chicken butters up. When you come and bring some water, put this in a container. You're going to meet me in town. Take a bus and come in town. Dominate, dominate.
Yes, indeed. But not everybody going to Queen Show. Some people go, some people watching, some people, yeah. So we decided to give you all a little bit of good night to you, Mr. Handsome. The last time you're going to be hearing from me until next week, Wednesday. Again, I did say last night that's it until next week, Wednesday. But yeah, when I heard some of the stuff that was being said today, I say no. No. For those of you that were able to tune in to last night's program, you did see some of what I played last night. As regards the history of certain individuals with the Grenada Global Petroleum Group. Yeah, but before I go into that, let me just clarify one thing. Because I recognize all over social media, I see parents asking the same question. And that question is, when is school reopening? I am not the Ministry of Education. But just for clarity, for what I have seen them put out as of the 1st of June, they have put out that school reopens on Tuesday, the 1st of September. Yes, so there was going to send we children to school in August, but For whatever reason, they have changed it. I did see this document put out by them, the Ministry of Education. It was put out on the 1st of June, I believe. Yes, since then, the 1st of June that this came out, it's updated because previously it had the section here said the 31st of Monday, the 31st of August. And now it says Tuesday, September 1st, 2026. So it has been updated. So please note that school reopens when? Yes, so tell a friend to tell a friend. Because I see a lot of parents asking the question, a lot of grandparents. I think some of the parents are ready for the children to go back already. So they're asking the question, when the children going back? When the children going back? So this is the answer, yeah? And take this one seriously, eh? Very, very seriously. You know, we used to take the song as a joke. No, the song is a serious song.
It's good to eat from people, but when you eat it, what you eat it, be careful with what you eat it. It's nice to eat with a friend, but when you eat it, what you eat it, be careful with what you eat it. Most of that we can call us, I eat no belly and to grumble. Then people say I can get away. Oh Lord, the same time I get a vision, to check with a hobby,
Let me say good night to Martin and Miss V.
tells me,
Hope you all have a wonderful night tonight.
do you really love me?
Hug the little one day for me. You know my little partner.
But when I tell you the money, yes, man. You say as a Calypsonian, you have a good inspiration. Go and tell your mother in your song. Matilda, tell mama, say, yeah. Sing the word, what you put in the callaloo. Matilda, tell mama for me, woman.
Yes, I know quite a few people were having some issues with that one. They were wondering when school was reopening. So I just said, since I saw it, let me just give you all that information, yeah?
Say on the mix, yeah.
It may have gone past a lot of people. The last one that was out was saying the 31st of August, Monday the 31st of August. And it has since been changed to the Tuesday, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
And let me say good night to our listeners in Carriacou. I heard you all are having a problem when it comes to the government pharmacy there. There doesn't seem to be a pharmacist. What's taking place with that, yeah? So that the people who are getting their prescriptions must go to the private pharmacies, and so because there's no government pharmacist. Is that the case?
Anywhere I go, I will eat from any woman. That's my mother nation. I can refuse it. Anywhere I pass, I will eat from any lady. In the tongue of the country, once it's all fish we give me. Oh, cross that fish and callaloo. I eat my belly start to crumble. Then people say I can get away. Oh, Lord. The same time I get a fish
I'm just making sure everything is all well and good, yeah?
and tells me. Tangle you.
Now, folks, I've been hearing quite a lot of talk. One, we heard the Prime Minister making statements about ghost ministries and ghost PS and so on. If that is indeed did take place, I think that instead of just coming to the public and speaking about that, there needed to be an investigation. And I would think that if you're hearing a statement like that, one of the questions that you would be asking right after, if you're a journalist or so on, or even without the question being asked, if you're the Prime Minister and you're speaking to the Grenadian people, and if it is a case of you not just making mischief, of you not just trying to give the impression that there are specific individuals out there that are trying to create some sort of confusion, that the important thing to do would have been to investigate and find out who the fraudulent people were that were attempting to extricate that information from the company claiming to be on behalf of the government of Grenada. Yeah? And if the company itself was suspicious and they informed the government that somebody approached us as a ministry and as a PS in a ministry, then all had to take place is that the government of Grenada could have tell the people, hey, watch, send some information to them, but don't send the correct information to them. And in sending that information, allow us to be able to track who is doing that. Yeah, that's what I would have done. If a company called me and say somebody is playing this one of my people and they're trying to get some information, I don't just come out and tell people, look, there are fake people out there trying to play this government ministry and all kind of thing. No, you try to find out who is doing that, because this could be a lot worse. Next thing, you have them checking world bodies, not just companies. Next thing, these people are checking world bodies and acting as though they are from the government of Grenada. So the smart thing to do would not have been to wait how much years, because this seems to have happened years ago, to wait 2 or 3 years and then come to the Grenadian people on the cusp of an election and make that statement, because you're technically casting aspersions that, hey, it is people from this side of the fence that have done that. While not making the statement, he made it in such a way that all of his supporters take it and they're running with it, while right now, without listening and without thinking about what he said. So he speak about ghost ministry. In other words, the ministry does not exist. And the permanent secretary whose name was used does not exist. So you are called by a company and told, hey, these people contacted me seeking this information. You're supposed to contact your technical people within IT and within the Royal Grenada Police Force. You're supposed to contact them because somebody has committed a fraud. Unless you like fraud. But somebody has committed a fraud. Yeah? They have impersonated senior people within the government. And I would think that any government worth its salt would be trying to get to the end of that and find out who these people are. I know me not afraid nothing on my end. But anybody that is worth their salt in a leadership position would have said to the company, hey, we want you to send this specific email. And you could code emails. You can send documents in an email that could lead you to know who you sent it to. That's child. You could do that on between Facebook and ChatGPT. You could build a code and do that. That's minor thing. Faru could tell you that. That's easy thing to do. Yeah? Could send a picture to somebody and it could tell you exactly who the picture has gone to if they're trying to hide behind a particular email. That is not a difficult thing to do. And the Royal Grenada Police Force, because you know they're looking at all people's business and thing, they have the ability to do it. They do have the ability. They can't tell me they don't have the ability. They have the ability to do that. And as such, it was quite an easy one for them to find out who did that. But they didn't need to find out that, because what they wanted to focus on is that they claim to not know who that company is. And I'm very careful with my wording here when I say they claim to know, not to know who that company is and that the company had done work for the government of Grenada. Because see, it's pretty easy to sit in the chair and say, well, we didn't get this information, and you could get the information, take it and dump it, and then claim you never get it. Because you hear charges, you hear them saying, well, we didn't get information, and we didn't get this information, and we didn't get that information, and they hiding information from us, and we never got information regarding various things. And then you find out afterwards that, hey, information was received regarding certain things. Yeah? So let me see if I can find, for instance, one document here. And let me see, is this it? No, that's not the one either. I think it may be this one. Yeah? Because you could easily be claiming, and we saw it up to this day. Remember, these individuals, and I'll find it in a while, these individuals have said that they did not receive certain documents. You heard Mr. Gregory Bowen, he came on this program and he exposed the fact that yes, documents were received by the government, that the government received documents, they asked about it, yeah, and they were given a series of documents, that they were given those documents by the government of Grenada, and they confirmed receipt of those documents. Why is this thing not showing up in my documents right now? Yeah, so I probably have to go back here and get it. Yeah. And that is a clear situation. In fact, the person at the point in time who was representing the Global Petroleum Group was one individual by the name of Cadgington Hood. And he presented the documents. They got the documents. So when they were asked the question yesterday, well, you all claim that you still don't have documents, and so what documents you all don't have? Because if you're out there telling people, I can't find my car, you should at least have the make and the description of the car. You should at least know what type of car people have to be looking for. They to this day have not admitted that Mr. Gregory Bowen helped them and that they got documents. They have not stated that. They refuse to acknowledge up to this point in time that since July 2022, 4 years ago, since July 2022, Mr. Cadgington Hood, on behalf of Global Petroleum, presented them with several documents as requested. And you still have them out there talking now about we ain't get documents and using that as an excuse. But we must remember that the head of the group that they have, the petroleum, whatever group they call it, Mr. V. Nazenberg, has historically always been at odds and had problems with the company called Global Petroleum Group. And it goes way back to the 2010s. In fact, last night we were able to play for you one of the videos from the year 2010. Yeah, we were able to play that for you last night. And let me pull it up again. Yeah, I'm going to play it again tonight. It is one of several that I have from that period, 2010, 2011, 2009, and so on. Yeah, it is one of several. Because there were several discussions regarding Global Petroleum at that point in time, including a Beyond the Headlines program, where several statements were made. And afterwards, you asking the same person who are basically calling Global Petroleum all sorts of negative things. They call them gangster, they call them crook, they call them all kind of things. And that is since 2010. They've been casting those kind of things at Global Petroleum. So after you have done all of that, or insinuated that these people are involved in such activities, they come and they take the same person and put them in charge of deciding if Global Petroleum is going to get to continue the work. Because when you listen to the reports from the year 2010,
a local company headed by a Russian is anxious to move ahead with oil exploration in 12 blocks of Grenada's waters, which they say was contracted to them by government under the NNP administration. But there may not be a speedy answer from the new administration except something extraordinary happens. It could be up to a year before a decision is made on the way forward with Global Petroleum Group, as Attorney General Rohan Philip has described the matter of the oil exploration interest in the country as complex. Speaking exclusively with CC6 Newsnight on Thursday, Mr. Philip did not disclose details of discussions with GPG, but he says government has been speaking with the group.
I have met with them at least on 2 occasions. And we have had discussions. Whether they were or were not satisfied with the nature of the meetings, I don't know, but I have met with them at least twice.
Principals of GPG, a company registered in Grenada, who...
And again, just a reminder that this is a news report. CC6 don't even exist again. Yeah, Community Channel 6 no longer exists. And this is a news report from December of the year 2010, 16 years ago. We see what the present Attorney General under the NDC is saying about the company. And we see what one of the former attorney generals, not governor generals, attorney generals under the NDC was saying about the company at that point in time. Same story, just a different year.
Chief executive is a Russian, have been in the island several times over the past year to have meetings with government officials, they have claimed. The group also said they have a contract with the government to conduct oil exploration work in the country's territorial waters.
A number of arrangements was entered into between the government of Grenada under the former administration and the company GPG. Those matters are in fact under consideration with this ministry and otherwise. And quite frankly, I will not be speaking beyond that at this moment. I am sure and I do appreciate the public's interest in this matter, but I wish to assure the public that we're doing all we can at this point. It's not that the matters are not being addressed, but they're complex matters, and with everything else that we're treating with, sometimes it takes a little longer than we would hope. But the matters are being addressed, they are under consideration.
Mr. Phillips says discussions with the group will, however, continue.
The nature of these matters is that it may take a year, you may have a breakthrough, and it happens within weeks or months. We have been working on it and for a long while. I mean, since this administration have come to office, we have been treating with the matter with varying degree of intensity, as you would appreciate, because other things come and you have to give, priority to them and so on. But we are treating with it. It's matters we wish to bring closure to, and so we're making every effort to do that.
Earlier this year, in a private function at Spice Island Beach Resort, GPG disclosed what they say are some of the plans for oil exploration in Grenada. They are claiming that if their operations go according to plan, the country could be earning up to $9 billion per annum from its underwater resources.
So that was in the year 2010, December 2010. Also in 2010, there was another news report a little earlier in the year, in April, in fact, specifically on the 6th of April, the 6th of April in the year 2010, there was another news report. And let me just pull that news report up for you so you can hear what was said at that point in time.
Finance Minister Nazim Burke will seek to clear the air this evening on claims being made by a Russian group that they have a license to prospect for oil in Grenadian waters. The Russians are members of the Global Petroleum Group, and they say that they were granted a license by the former Keith Mitchell government. However, they claim that since the new Tillman Thomas regime took power in 2008, they've made several appeals for the go-ahead to start their work, but to no avail. They appeared on a recent edition of the Business Files program, which is aired every Thursday night on GBN TV.
According to the contract, we've prepared a report which we've submitted to the government for the next stage of work. We've submitted an application for the entry of the seismic survey vessel. On the 10th, we've sent another request.
When was that first application sent in?
А когда была подана первая заявка?
16 месяцев назад.
16 months ago.
16 months ago.
16 месяцев назад.
So have you had any response from the government?
No, we're still waiting the reply from the government, and we are working within the framework of our license agreement. According to the contract, we are, in accordance with the contract, we are only working with the specified government bodies.
На сегодняшний день это господин министр Буркин.
And at the moment, it's Minister Nazim Burke.
Their appearances follow a recent announcement by Foreign Affairs Minister Peter David that Grenada and Trinidad had settled on their maritime boundaries. During a news conference, Mr. David was asked about the claims being made by the Russians.
It's not an issue that the Ministry of Foreign Affairs is quite au fait with. It's other ministries handle that issue, and no, that has little to do with boundary delimitation. That's another issue.
But my follow-up question to this is, have government met with the team as yet?
I have not met with them.
But you have, but they...
I have not met with them. I don't know if anybody else. I just came back into the country, but I certainly have not.
And did your government receive a letter from these people saying that they're willing to lobby to explore for oil in Grenada?
I
Because
am
they
not
claim
aware.
that they have sent you your government letters and they're awaiting a response.
I am not aware of that.
The issue will be discussed on GBN's Beyond the Headlines program later on this evening by Finance Minister Nazim Burke.
And we do have a copy of that Beyond the Headlines program. So you will be seeing bits and pieces of that Beyond the Headlines program, because you have to understand something. The National Democratic Congress was in office for 4.5 years. They're speaking about 18 years. What we're seeing there was 16 years ago. The NDC left office in 2013 after 4.5 years. Yeah, and they have been in office for how long now? 4 years. So when they're speaking about 18 years, how much of the 18 years was under the new National Party? Yeah? That's one of the questions we have to ask. How many of the years out of the 18 was under the new National Party? Because you're speaking nearly 9 now by the NDC, and then you have 2020, 2021 into 2022. We know what was going on at that point in time. So you can't count that time when there's COVID. Nothing was going on anywhere in the world. So take that out of it as well. Yeah? But you know what? I feel I'll call a partner of mine tonight. Yeah. I feel give me a few minutes there. Let me see if I can reach a partner of mine tonight, man. Because there are some questions I want to ask a partner of mine. You only understand how you go? Yeah, I have a partner there. I want to ask him some questions. Let me see if I could find a proper song to put it on while I go and find that day for you all. Let me see. Yeah, I think I will just go with this one here.
We tired with the pretty news. What we need is the real issues. But like you only defending, what on earth are you hiding? You're running away from responsibility to inform us what's going on in this country. Everything that is happening only concealing. The people want to know what really happened. But when we didn't guess, we didn't know. We didn't hear it on the radio because you undercover. And to pay the money, we saw the lawyer on the TV because you undercover. But what in the dark? You suddenly come to light, and against injustice and strife, I know the people prepare to fight.
Yes, indeed, folks. I'm trying to see if I can reach a good friend of mine there. Let me see if they can go Queen show if they're home.
In your capacity as Prime Minister, you could do nothing for the 2GBN worker.
Yeah, because we have to ask our questions about these things. I haven't gotten them yet, but we have to ask our questions about these things. Because we're hearing statements being made, and it's giving you the impression that for 18 years, the new National Party had these individuals, and these individuals were supposed to do something in that period of time, and they didn't do it. When we've been hearing constantly, we heard it there from 2010, 16 years ago. We heard from the very same people that, hey, we have been trying to speak with the government to get this thing rolling, and they have not been working with us. We heard that 16 years ago. And with that is in 2010. Now we're in 2026. And we're hearing the exact same story again. And who is the person that they have to relate with? Well, one of the people that they have to relate with, the same person was Minister of Energy, who was unwilling to work with them between 2008 and 2013. The same individual is who this government found it important to place to work along with them now. So what you think happened? For another 4 years, the people have been blocked. They have been blocked. Let me try again to see if I get my good friend.
These lies, allegations and accusations, an apology and $10,000 in donation. And initially, you lied to win election. You must continue.
And I think I have reached a gentleman that I wanted to speak to here. Good night, sir. Hello.
Hello.
Good night, sir. How are you doing? Brother,
Yes.
Well, a happy carnival to you, sir. How are you going?
Happy Carnival. I'm in my house.
They say home is where the heart is, man. So it's good to be home sometime.
I'm in my house and I'm very depressed by what's happening in my country.
Yeah, this part is absolutely no laughing matter. And I called you tonight for several reasons. One, you were the Attorney General of Grenada back in 2013 when re-engagement took place with the company. You called Global Petroleum Group. You as well have been acting as legal representative for them in the past. And you are very aware of what has taken place before, what was contained in the agreements, and what has taken place. Yesterday, we saw a press conference by the government of Grenada where they made several accusations against Global Petroleum Group and, in context, against the New National Party administration, inclusive of yourself, because you were the Attorney General, you were the legal man. So they've made several allegations, including one that there have been many breaches. I think they said as much as 14 breaches of the agreement. They have said that the company can't seem to provide evidence of what monies they have spent. They have said that the company has been there for 18 years and didn't do what they're supposed to do. So they're using this opportunity to get rid of them. On the first one, the 18 years, what say you?
Let me be, or please be a bit more specific. Is it that our current administration is saying that Global Petroleum Group has been engaged with the government of Grenada for 18 years? Is that what it is?
That is what they're saying. For 18 years, they have been engaged.
No, I think, with all due respect, maybe the Prime Minister is not very strong on the topic of mathematics, because Mr. Nazim Burke, I recall, in a town hall meeting with respect to oil and gas at the Trade Center, indicated that the government, the present administration, uncovered dealings with Global Petroleum Group and the government of Grenada before 2008. And I'm trying to be very precise here.
Mm-hmm.
He said, and it was all over the internet, that apparently the Global Petroleum Group worked with the government of Grenada in the matter of the Grindberg case. You recall that?
Yes.
And prior to 2008, there was an arrangement that the GPG would work with the government of Grenada, provide assistance to get rid of the Grindberg claim, and in exchange for that, GPG would be eligible to receive an exploration license. Am I correct, Sheldon?
Yes, you are. And I have the video to prove it.
So this is what, so the Honorable Prime Minister is making a mess with his mathematics. They have already told the nation that Global Petroleum Group's association with the government of Grenada dated back to a period before 2008. In other words, a period in excess of 18 years. That's the first point. The second point, confirmed by Nazim Burke in the very same town hall meeting at the Trade Center, was that in 2008, in July 2008, just before the elections, GPG was granted an exploration license in keeping with their commitment and their success in dealing with the Grindberg issue. Am I correct in that also?
Yes, you are.
Right. No, it was also clear from Mr. Victor Nazim Burke in that town hall meeting that nothing at all was achieved in cooperation or due to lack of cooperation with the NDC government over the period 2008 to 2012. Wasn't that very clear from their statement?
Very clear.
That is, the government of Grenada did not engage with GPG productively or in any substantive way with respect to oil and gas exploration. And I will say furthermore, Mr. Burke admitted that the administration between 2008 and 2013 did not work with GPT effectively or at all to bring to fruition the aim of the exploration license. They didn't cooperate. As a matter of fact, I know you would recall conversations with the then Attorney General, that is Mr. Rohan Phillip, when he said to the nation that yes, he did talk to the group on one or two occasions, but his words were, maybe the conversations were not satisfactory. Am I correct, Sheldon?
Yes, sir. Very, very correct.
So in other words, the administration of 2008 to 2013 under the NDC has admitted publicly that they did not work with GPG for those 5 years between 2008 and 2013. They admitted that GPG was complaining that Mr. Burke, who was the finance minister, and other officials of the government of Grenada did not engage with them at all or in any effective manner regarding oil and gas exploration. Furthermore, Sheldon, even the Honorable Prime Minister at that time, Uncle Tilly, admitted that he didn't have any information regarding, and hear carefully, regarding the exploration license or the production sharing agreement. So in the period 2008 to 2013, the Honorable Prime Minister was not even properly briefed on GPG and oil and gas. Am I correct still, Sheldon?
Yes, you are.
So now, let's take our Prime Minister's 18 years and do a little math. It means an exploration license was granted to GPG, and remember, they paid for it, and they paid for it at the statutory rate. In other words, the laws of Grenada says what should be paid and what the procedure should have been, and GPG followed the procedure to the letter. They paid. And in the 5 years, 2008 to 2013, they admitted nothing was done. So let us subtract now 2008 to 2026, you subtract, you get 18. Correct? That piece of the math is correct. But objectively, Remember, at that time, GPT had what you call an exploration license. And let me explain to my Grenadian people what an exploration license is. What was issued to GPG was the right to just to explore certain blocks over there in the sea. I'm not going to use any technical statement. A block is just an area of the sea, right? It is, the areas are cut up into what you call blocks. There were about 11, I can't remember the exact number. There were several blocks, maybe about 11 or whatever it is, blocks that were identified by GPT that they were interested in. So you may ask the question, how did they come up with their blocks? Because GPT did their homework and they went back many decades of information that was compiled, and based on that information, they approached the government of Grenada and say, we are interested in those blocks. Am I clear, Sheldon?
Yes.
So upon presentation of the desire, there was a response by the government. Okay, yes, as Mr. Buck said, help us with this thing because we're in a bind with Grindberg. We can't give you any kind of license because we have to wait until the Grindberg thing is over. Is that clear?
Yes.
Right, and Mr. Buck said so. So when the Grindberg thing was over, the government of Grenada engaged GPG and gave them the license. Now, if you're wondering why it was done close to the election in July, I suppose it is because GPG, and they were smart enough, did not trust the results of the election. And they did not trust that if NNP lost the election in 2008, they would have had a fair shake, so to speak, from the NDC. And they were correct. Sheldon, don't you see that?
Well, and especially after what they went through between 2008 and 2013.
No,
they couldn't have that safety.
In hindsight now, they were correct to make sure they had something before the elections.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure in 2008, the NNP thought they were going to win the elections. And GPT is saying, oh, look, we're not going to put out all this money and we have nothing in our hand. So that there is nothing strange about the exploration license being issued close to the elections. And I just wanted to clear that up. Because Mr. Burke said the exploration license was given in consideration of the indefatigable efforts and expensive efforts to get Mr. Bowen and our government out of the lurch with Mr. Grindberg. What's wrong with that? Anyway, so we have to take away the 5 years from the 18 years that the Prime Minister talked about, and we down to 13. Make sense?
Yes.
Let me do a bit more math. A bit more of the math. In 2013, when I became Attorney General in April, I realized that that exploration license was going to expire in July. Because our law gives the Minister for Petroleum Affairs the power to issue an exploration license under certain conditions for a maximum of 5 years. After the 5 years, there could be an application to renew the license for a further period of time, not exceeding another 5 years. If my memory serves me correct, but there could be an extension. However, if there is an extension, you cannot give the applicant the same number of blocks. The blocks have to be reduced. Because the structure of our laws is such that the Parliament doesn't want a person just prospecting on a large area over an indefinite period of time. So you're given 5 years to come up with a decision as to whether you find anything in it that is of commercial value or not. At the end of the 5 years, you need to make a decision. Do you want to move ahead with a development license over a specified area? or do you want to just walk away? No, is that clear, Sheldon?
That is very clear, yeah.
So therefore, GPG was left with a decision to make. They did not get the cooperation, and hence they could not have dealt with the exploration that they would have needed to have done in order to decide which blocks they were interested in developing or whether or not they wanted to walk away. However, in conversation with them, they revealed the extent of their involvement financially. They revealed the position that they were in, that they were not able to do sufficient and ample research or exploration over all the blocks to decide. However, they were willing to focus on the D blocks because based on the research, and again, not based on the precise mappings that they should have used, they thought that the D blocks would have been the most viable blocks.
Mm-hmm.
So they had a choice because the government could not have given them an exploration license for the full blocks again.
Mm-hmm.
Are you still with me?
Yeah.
So they decided, look, we don't want to totally give up the blocks because we really didn't have a fair chance at exploring all of the blocks. But we feel relatively confident that the D blocks are where we believe there would be substantial and marketable quantities of oil and gas. So in my research in the Petroleum Act, I found a provision under Section 23 that allowed the government of Grenada to give a development license over a specific area where you did not have an exploration license. And I pointed that out to them.
Mm-hmm.
And they agreed to pay for and accept a development license for the D blocks, even though I repeat, they didn't get the chance to do the in-depth exploration as they wanted. But they had a choice and they decided, look, we'll go with the D blocks, right, under the conditions that we still have a chance to use the 5-year exploration license that we had before and we didn't get cooperation over.
Mm-hmm.
Now, credit to Minister Bowen. He insisted that in order for GPG to have any kind of rights of exploration and otherwise with respect to the other blocks, that would be conditional upon GPG performing upon the new license which they wanted for development for the D blocks. So I think you heard the government say that they revoked that kind of arrangement with respect to the rest of the blocks.
Yes, they revoked that.
Right. No, it was something that was put in there by Minister Bowen to make sure that there was an incentive for GPG to perform.
Mm-hmm.
And I give him a lot of credit for that. Sheldon, we did negotiations from about April until finally there were several visits, late night meetings and discussions until finally we came up with documents that the parties were able to accept in December 2013. So the government issued a development license for the D blocks in December, and then we reviewed the production sharing agreement. So that was signed off in 2013. And the reason why I'm saying that is because I'm saying objectively, we have already taken away 5 years from the 18 years that the Prime Minister talked about. We need to take away another year.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that so?
Yeah,
because for the whole of 2013, it was time for negotiation.
Yes.
So GPG couldn't use 2013. So real work could have only started in 2014.
Mm-hmm.
So Sheldon, now we're down to 2014 to 2026. And if my maths serve me correct, that's 12 years. So we keep going down.
Mm-hmm.
Now, from 2014, GPG had the task, the twofold task now, of doing exploration and doing development. Why? Because they could not have done the 2D mappings and so forth. So they did some 2D mappings. They brought down ships. I think Grenadians would remember the ships that are outside.
Yeah.
You remember that time?
Yes, I do.
Yes. At their expense, they brought down the ships and did the 2D mappings, and they narrowed it down to a particular area, and then they did the 3D mappings. That's between 2014 and 2018. So they crashed it. And yes, Minister Bowen was insisting that some more wells should have been, test wells should have been dug. But we have to understand that they were starting without proper exploration due to the conduct of the NDC administration between 2008 and 2013. So after the well was dug, there was you would understand that there is a lot of time that's taken to assess the results of the 3D mappings. A lot of effort, a lot of expenditure went into that, because whatever the test results revealed had to be sent through a series of experts and so on before any kind of response that was acceptable or one could use could have been produced. And I hope I'm clear up to this point.
Yes, you are very clear so far.
So eventually, in 2018, the results came back. And they came and they had meetings with us, with the Prime Minister, with Minister Bowen. And we are very excited that, yes, it appears that there was a substantial amount of natural gas, and then there was the aggregate under it. But however, the exploration didn't go as far down as the aggregates. But remember, they had already started negotiations with NGC in Trinidad.
Yes, the National Gas Company, of Trinidad.
Yes, and NGC was interested in the natural gas. So they started pre-agreement talks, and NGC was very excited because their resources in the natural gas had depleted over the years. And they thought it would have been a good thing. And there were lots of discussions at different levels. Mr. Ogis, who was in Ministry of Energy, was an integral part of the discussions. He used to travel down to Trinidad. He traveled on several occasions with them to discuss with NGC as a representative of the government of Grenada. So GPG was accustomed with having not Minister Bowen, not the Prime Minister, not myself, but another person in the structure of the government of Grenada working with them. That person was Mr. Ogis. He's now retired. And his office used to work with them, facilitating work permits and everything. Everything that had to do with their work. Mr. Ogis used to do it. So they didn't have the headache. They would just send the papers to Mr. Ogis and he would process it. So there was no problem with immigration and customs and whatever it is. So that's what happened just before 2018. So when anybody tries to say it was some election gimmick by Dr. Mitchell, that's a lie. That's a lie. I met with the GPC personnel just before the elections. It was not long before the elections that they got the results. And the Prime Minister, of course, was excited and went on the stage and mentioned it up in Simone. And it was no election gimmick. It was a genuine result. And up to now, Sheldon, remember, this administration now cannot deny the results of the test well that was dug. They can't deny it.
Well, they're claiming that GPG is lying and it's only actually one well that was dug and not two wells. And
No, you're missing the point. Shelong, I just dealt with that. I'm saying to you, they did not have sufficient time, given the shortness from 2013 to 2018. They did not have the time to do more wells, if you understand my point. Because of the shortness of the time. They only had time to dig one before the election in 2018. That's the point.
Okay.
And I remember when they reported that with all the results, that Minister Bowen insisted that there be more wells dug. So Minister Bowen actually was driving a very, very hard bargain. I sat with him. And he's the one who was insisting on benefits of the Grenadian people and all these kinds of stuff that you see in the agreements. Whatever negatives you can say about him, I know personally, as a matter of fact, about what we were talking about, what we were presenting. Remember, the government of Grenada did not spend a cent on all that was happening, Sheldon. Presently, Mr. Burke and company are being paid to run up and down and do nothing. And I'm giving you my view. It is a fact that they are being paid.
So the petroleum group that we keep here, the Prime Minister speaking about, that committee,
the technical working group,
they are being paid. That's a paid position.
They are being paid. The members are being paid. That's a fact.
The average Grenadian does not know that.
Well,
and we are thankful for that information.
Look, Sheldon, the very accountable and transparent government that our Prime Minister is talking about does not see it fit to tell the Grenadian people how much of the tax money is going to Mr. Burke and company. So if that's transparency, that's all right. But as a fact, they are being paid. What have they done? Nothing. At this point, just before they announce the election, what have they announced? They're trying to cancel the contract. Doesn't make sense.
Not to people.
Anyway, we're still on the mats.
Not to people who does think.
No, we are still on the mats. So I've said to you, Minister Bowen insisted that more test wells be dug in the next year. So we're talking end of 2018, and we're going into when? 2019.
Right.
Sheldon, what happened in 2019?
By the end of 2019, there was COVID-19.
COVID-19.
You started hearing about it in about October, November, December, and it exploded by the time January.
Yes, January 2020.
Yeah.
But I can tell you as a matter of fact that one of the partners who proposed working with GPG was a huge Chinese oil and gas company. And during 2019, I can tell you as a matter of fact, you remember that this virus, they say, started out in China.
Yeah, Wuhan.
Hold on. Before the international community got to know about the virus, of course, the Chinese knew about it. Isn't that so?
Yeah.
In 2019, GPT had a problem with one of the main partners out of China. And in retrospect, I believe it had to do with what the government was noting with certain sicknesses. Anyway, let's leave that alone. That's speculation.
Yeah, that's speculation.
But the fact is that in 2019, you started to see certain things developing. So when my prime minister, he's our prime minister, okay? When my prime minister is talking about the 18 years, we have removed 5 years already. Yes? And we were down now. We said realistically there were only 4 years between 2014 to 2018. In 2018 there was the well dug, that's the drilled rather, that's the test well. And then 2019 was COVID. So while GPG is mobilizing for the rest of the wells, COVID comes up. And COVID takes us from 2019 right up to just before the elections when this current government came into force.
In 2022.
2022.
So we can't count that period. We can't count that period again.
Sheldon, oh my God. What does any reasonable person expect? In every contract, there is a clause or section marked acts of God. You know what that is?
Yes.
Hurricane, virus, pestilence. It was an act of God. So is our government saying that it is reasonable to blame a contractor or a party to an agreement whose performance is affected by an act of God? Is it that what our lawyer prime minister is saying? I'm sure he doesn't mean that. I'm 100% sure he doesn't mean that. So, Sheldon, in reality, I'm simply saying, and let us not count the 4 years under this government. I committed that just now. So up to 2022, I think you agree with me that realistically, GPG had 4 years to work. Is my math correct?
Yes, you are.
That is from 2014 to 2018. If you want to put 2019 out of spite, out of spite,
yeah, you can join
then you come up to 5. You come up to 5. No, let's go to 2022, June 2022. Sheldon, in June 2022, when the results of the election came, I called, because that time I had a power of attorney for GPG. I contacted within a week after elections. Remember, for that election, I was #1 critic of the Keith Mitchell NNP. Isn't that so? Grenada knows that.
That is so.
So, Mr. Mitchell and company couldn't say that some enemy was calling to talk to them. Am I clear?
Very clear.
I called the ministry. A friend of mine was there and said to me, the ministry is not pro, go straight to the Prime Minister's office. I did that. A Miss Akira Lessie spoke to me. And I have the receipts of all the emails I kept sending, and we are talking within 2 weeks of the elections. And I asked for an audience with our Honorable Prime Minister. And I repeat, he could not have said that I was against the NDC. That same gentleman visited my office and took from my office free, gratis, a whole load of information on a flash drive regarding my assessment of various things under the NNP government, which he said to me he wanted to use for somebody who was interested. So, in other words, he was using it in their election campaign. So he can't say I was opposed to the NDC government. I asked for an audience, and I specifically said to Ms. Lessie, look, I have information, I have documents regarding the oil and gas, which I want to share with the Prime Minister and brief him. And after the informal briefing, I know that my clients will be willing to share freely with the government of Grenada. Sheldon, that is in July 2022. More than 4 years ago. Eventually, we kept corresponding. Eventually, in about January 2023, the response from Ms. Lessie is that, look, they want a time to settle in. They just come in office, give them a chance to settle in. So I'm waiting. In the meantime, GPG kept writing the Prime Minister. There are, Sheldon, maybe 40 letters to the Prime Minister, over and over and over again, with no response. I am waiting. The Prime Minister tell me he wants all the documents. My response, well, through Ms. Lessie, I said to Ms. Lessie, look, I just want to have a talk with him, and based on our talk, he refused to meet with me. I didn't get an audience. I didn't get a chance to explain.
Up to this day, you have never had that meeting?
I have not had that meeting. I had one meeting with the Prime Minister when Mr. Richard Duncan, remember, this administration tie up the oil and gas, They create 2 committees, rather than creating a committee that's appointed by the Minister of Petroleum Affairs, as our laws say, this administration refused to do that. When I pointed out in a letter to the Attorney General that, look, my clients are insisting that they have an agreement with the Minister of Petroleum Affairs and they would like to continue their relations with that minister, and hence please appoint somebody responsible. The Attorney General wrote back to me and accused me of being arrogant and trying to tell a sovereign government how to run their affairs. To date, I do not know about the appointment of any Minister for Petroleum Affairs. Rather than that, this administration appointed 2 committees. There's a cabinet-appointed committee headed by Mr. Richard Duncan and having a composition of 2 persons from the government side and 2 persons from GPG. I was one of the persons selected. And then there's a so-called technical working group headed by Mr. Nazim Bok. Mr. Nazim Bok now is on the committee. Sorry, it was 3 each. Mr. Nazim Bok, Mr. Richard Duncan, Mr. Rodney George. They are the representatives of the government on the cabinet-appointed group. And then there's a technical working group in which Mr. Nazim Bok is chairman, Mr. Richard Duncan is a member, Mr. Rodney George is a member, and then they have other technical people in it.
Mm-hmm.
So they complicated everything else. Before 2022, there was 1 group appointed by the minister according to the Act. But this administration likes to complicate things and like to pay out money. Because prior to 2022, nobody was getting a cent for working in oil and gas. Do you hear what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't get a cent. Minister Bowen didn't get a cent. Mr. Ogis didn't get a cent. But we are working to bring about a fulfillment of Grenada's dreams in oil and gas. We are doing it for free. Now you have 2 committees. And now you don't know how you're shuttling information from one to the other. And nobody has the authority of a statutory appointment. That's what this government created.
Oh, so you're saying there are no statutory appointments for these committees that are in place right now?
Because there is no law in place, Sheldon. There's no law in place. The law in place is the Petroleum and Natural Deposits Act.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's Cap 240. And it spells out the obligations of the ministers and his powers. They have refused to go according to the laws of Grenada. And they arbitrarily made up 2 committees so they could pay out money to Mr. Bok and company. And that's a fact.
Well, now they're saying they want to change the laws. So now, after breaking the law, they want to change the law to align it with what they have done.
Well, I suspect that that's what they're trying to do. So they want to clean up whatever is under the old act first. And I suspect that they want to pass a new act with regard to oil and gas. That's just
they have stated
the feeling
so.
that I have in my...
They have stated
That's the
so.
feeling I have.
Mm-hmm.
That's the feeling I have. That's the feeling. They want to do it in as the Prime Minister said, in a creative way.
Mm-hmm.
I have no problem with it being creative. Yes, so in addition to all of that, I offer to give them documents. And as I've heard you say, Minister Bowen made them see all the documents we had. Then the technical working group under Nazim Bok came and started making a whole set of demands for documents. Sheldon, that's separate and apart from what Minister Bowen did to help the Prime Minister and my offer to the Prime Minister, which he rejected or he despised.
Mm-hmm.
Then Mr. Bok come and start asking making all kinds of demands. Then there is the other committee again, which Mr. Duncan heads, and Mr. Book was coming in, and Mr. George coming in that committee and making all kinds of demands again. Isn't that complication?
In my view, it is, huh?
Sheldon, look, Mr. Duncan and company, under the guise of having a public statement made by the Prime Minister with respect to cooperation with GPG, these gentlemen traveled from Russia to Grenada.
Mm-hmm.
During that time, Mr. Duncan was in Europe on some kind of CBI appointment or CBI thing, he tells me. And we were working day and night, drafting a press release. And I thought Mr. Duncan had the blessing of the Prime Minister. And I misled my clients into thinking that there was going to be a press up, because they were asking months and months and months. They were begging the government, please, make a statement. It's going to help us if the government of Grenada makes an official statement that, yes, we have a valid agreement and we have a valid PSA and we are working together. Up to this date, our Prime Minister has refused to do it. So when I encourage my clients to come down, live in Grenada, for the meeting, we met with the Prime Minister in his office. And up to this date, they have not issued any press release regarding cooperation with GPG.
So there's a
That's over a year ago.
pattern, and there's a pattern that we're seeing here in all of these things. There's a specific pattern in the way that the government engages or does not engage. There's a pattern.
So Sheldon, I'm simply saying, from 2022 when they came into office, I even heard in the throne speech, I was so embarrassed for the Governor General. I was embarrassed for the Governor General to hear her say that her government don't know about this oil and gas, when her government under NNP knew everything about oil and gas. Sheldon, you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because contrary to what this Prime Minister is saying, it is still the king that's the head of the state of Grenada, not the Prime Minister. I repeat, the king, King Charles, is the head of the state of Grenada, not King Deacon Mitchell, or whatever name he wants to call himself. And when you sit in Parliament, the Governor General serves at the behest of the King, King Charles, and the Governor General stands up in Parliament and says, my government. So maybe Mr. Mitchell wants to go in Parliament and say my government, but he can't say that under our Constitution. That's my point on that. So from 2022 up to now, more than 4 years, they kept asking questions and want every single document. But they will not go out in public and even a photo up. Sheldon, do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
Not even a photo up, not even a statement issued. Sheldon, I think it was only last year that they officially recognized the existence of this development agreement or development license. And now I was shocked to hear the Prime Minister talk about 18 years. What is this gentleman talking about? Why are you lying and deceiving the Grenadian people? Why?
And Mr. Hood, I'd like to raise another quick issue here. That they have been speaking, because while you've been speaking, I've been putting different documents up, and one of them that I put up a short while ago was the letter that was sent to you by the hydrocarbons group, where they confirmed receiving several documents from you. Included in those documents is and let me put it back on the screen, the Grenada Development Plan that was submitted to the government of Grenada on the 27th of May 2025. Yesterday, we were hearing the Prime Minister saying that they didn't see a development plan and that they asked for another development plan, they were given one, and that didn't meet the standard. Whereas we're seeing that there was a development plan submitted since 2015 that was given to them. The document is signed by one individual by the name of V. Nazim Burke, that he received these documents. There's the other accusation regarding some monies that were forwarded to the government of Grenada that they claim they're not seeing documentation for. And in the documents you provided a letter dated the 7th of March 2020. No, not this one. Confirming the financial advances under the production sharing agreement. That was on the 7th of March 2023 that they sent to the present administration. They sent a copy of the bank transfer on the 18th of April 2013. They also sent a letter dated the 30th of June 2017 from the Accountant General to GPG confirming the campaign expenditure incurred to May 2017. And campaign in this instance means the campaign to drill and do what they did out there to find the gas deposits that they did find. So I've just put
Sheldon,
that to let people see that. Yeah.
Sheldon, I want to confirm all that you're talking about. It's a pity Mr. Obiki is not around. Okay, he was the Accountant General controlling all of these transactions. In my interaction with this government, this denial of payment is only a recent stance taken by the Prime Minister. It was never said before. And I want to repeat, Sheldon, GPG, over the years, since I left the AG's office in 2017, GPG wrote to the government of Grenada, that was the NNP government, asking for a reconciliation of accounts. I advised them to recommend, and they did recommend to the government of Grenada, that reconciliation be done by the Director of Audit. They went so far as that. And there was delay from the government side to reconcile the accounting. It was not GPG.
Mm-hmm.
So I am befuddled by whatever is being said now. There can be no denial of the financial transfers. It is a fact. So I do not know why the Honorable Prime Minister should be acting so dishonorably.
Because they're now giving the impression to the Grenadian people that GPG gave a set of money that was destined for the government of Grenada and it disappeared into a black hole. It never reached.
No, that is nonsense. The bank transactions are there.
Well,
Sheldon,
Nazim Burke saying
Sheldon, for 4 years, why didn't they send the FIU to check the accounts? The FIU is digging up all kind of people accounts.
Including mine.
The FIU could have approached the bank and collected the documents and traced it into the treasury. So that is absolute nonsense. We need to stop playing games with the minds of our Grenadian people. We need to stop. So all of this talk, I heard snippets of the Prime Minister's statements. All of this talk about whether or not there is valid reason, that is not for now. That's for when you get to arbitration, Mr. Prime Minister. And he knows it because he's been in many trials. Witnesses from one side say whatever it is. Witnesses from the other side say the opposite. Who makes the decision? The arbitrator or the judge?
Mm-hmm.
So, Mr. Prime Minister, hold your horses and stop trying to convince Grenadians regarding the facts from your vantage point. Hold on. The Prime Minister made a decision. His cabinet, his government made a decision to try to revoke the agreement and to cancel the license. GPG has the rights under the PSA and under the license. I understand they've written to the government saying that they want to exercise their rights and they want to challenge the decision. Let us go. Sheldon, remember I called into your program some weeks ago, and I said, based on what I'm seeing happening, the government will try to. You remember that night?
You did one.
They're going to try.
You did one.
They're going to try to revoke it. You remember I told you that?
You did one.
And I said, we need to stop because it may lead us into not millions, but billions in debt. Did I not say that on your program, Sheldon?
You did say so.
Okay. Don't call me a prophet. Because next thing they might call me Baby Elijah.
Well, no, but it's between... No, but you see, Ida's always says between two things. It's either you have the gift of foresight or you have the gift of goat mouth. So...
No. I don't want to be called... hold on. I don't want to be called Baby Elijah. I ain't no baby nobody. Sheldon, if you see something that walks on 2 feet, have feathers and go quack, 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 how you call it?
I call it a duck.
A duck. Okay. So when I said what I said, I was seeing all the feathers, the 2 feet, and everything that was happening.
And the thing is, there's been speaking about documents again, and we have letters signed by two of the people sitting around the Prime Minister yesterday, the Attorney General, and one by Nazim Burke, that spoke to documents that has been submitted by Global Petroleum Group, because I also have a letter here dated the 13th of February 2024 that speaks to documents that were submitted the previous year. And just trying to confirm if all the documents that were sent, and again, this was sent to yourself, and trying to confirm if all the documents submitted, in other words, there were documents submitted. And they were just trying to confirm if all the documents you sent were all that you had.
Sheldon, let me tell you again. Documents are not the issue. Documents have never been the issue. Sheldon, the only issue, you see, my Prime Minister and company are trying to confuse people in Grenada. They take us for fools. And that's an insult. You have an agreement which is very clear. The agreement, and I'm talking about the PSA, which didn't change much from since 2008, Sheldon. I repeat, since 2008. Since 2008, they were complaining about the PSA. They did nothing between 2008 and 2013. Nothing at all. They never tried to interfere with it. The amended one in 2013, there wasn't any significant change to it. So it's the same thing. Nothing was done. There is a development license which gives, and hear me carefully now, which gives GPG the right to explore and to develop 4 blocks, certain blocks, D blocks, and the license for 20 years. You have to have serious cause to try to revoke the license.
Well, there's a question that I want to... Well, let's continue. I'll ask it afterwards. Yeah, go right ahead.
Yes. In addition to that, there's an obligation by both sides to act in good faith. So when you hear the government lying about documents, is that acting in good faith?
No, it is not.
So it undermines the very agreement. How does my government expect to go and defend their action before an international tribunal with all that evidence? Please tell me, Sheldon.
They would have to respond to that one. But there's another question along the line of what you're speaking about now, because speaking of 4 blocks, I think Grenadians need to know that there are 44 blocks The only 4 blocks right now that are being mentioned, are being spoken about, are these 4 blocks. And we may ask ourselves, why is it necessary to go behind the only people with active blocks, actually who have done something, who have been working on them, and you have 40 others? Why is it only these 4 blocks that this government seems that, okay, we going to get rid of these people, the only active people that we have right now? There's a question in my mind regarding that, and I have to ask you if the same question
Sheldon,
is playing in your mind.
I'm laughing.
Yeah.
Sheldon, I'm laughing. You see all the name dropping that Nazim Bok used in the press conference?
Yes. A lot of them.
It's just a set of hold on, it's just a set of bramble. You know, Grenadians know what you mean by bramble.
Mm-hmm.
It's not real wood, it's just like a piece of stick.
Mm-hmm.
Why is it just bramble? Look, GPG spent their money going through all of the blocks that they had an exploration license over. Okay? There are many other blocks out there. They did not go there because they didn't have a license to go there. Am I clear?
Yes.
So the rest of blocks where they did not do exploration over, anybody could go there. And the rest of blocks that they're not doing development over, given that this administration has revoked the arrangement for the rest of the blocks that they previously had the exploration license over, why didn't he send all the interested companies over there? Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So if the companies that he name dropped were so interested, why didn't he send them in the other blocks and leave the 4 blocks alone? Let the people do what they're doing, work with them, and let the other rich companies who are interested in Grenada go and explore in the other blocks. Doesn't that make sense?
Makes the most sense to me.
Okay. Well, maybe your very intelligent Prime Minister is seeing something more.
No, I don't want to disrespect the money my parents spent to educate myself, so I'm not going to allow him to do that. Because it would mean, therefore, that if you get rid of GPG from these 4 blocks, anyone coming in doesn't have to go through all of the work that GPG did and all of the money that they spent to get to the point that we are at right now with those blocks. That you have the various seismic studies, etc. done.
So hold on. So our Prime Minister, he's a lawyer.
Yeah.
So he's trying to say that because GPG breached, according to them, because GPG breached the agreement, that they would lose all of the investment entirely.
Mm-hmm.
And some foreigner can walk in on the blocks and build upon what GPG has paid money on without any compensation. Is that what the lawyer Prime Minister is telling us? You understand what I'm asking?
And that seems to be what they're saying. Because
okay,
they even refused to respond to the letter that was sent to them by GPG. They said they see nothing to respond to.
All of these things will be evidenced in the arbitration or before a court. I assure you of that. You want me to give you a story?
Go right ahead.
About our Prime Minister? I recall being Attorney General, and Dr. Mitchell decided that after meeting with the owners of a certain hotel in the south of the island, after sending myself and Nikki Seal to meet with them, to encourage them to improve the facility because the place was rotten. You hear me? Guests complaining. He took the initiative and sent us to negotiate with them. They did not respond. He decided he was going to acquire the property And he went through everything, the Governor General proclamation, everything else. The shareholder sent somebody down. Engaged our current Prime Minister, Mr. Deacon Mitchell. And they inveigled and convinced Dr. Mitchell to meet with them in my absence. And they said things to Dr. Mitchell, got him angry, and he ill-advisedly made certain statements. Our current Prime Minister recorded the statements of Dr. Mitchell, put them in an affidavit, and went to the Court of Appeal and caused the Court of Appeal to hold up the acquisition of the property.
So without Dr. Mitchell's permission, I assume. So
I am just telling you,
he's secretly recorded.
Recorded it and quoted him in the affidavit. This current Prime Minister who talking about national interests. That's what he did. So I will use his word. If he didn't do that, sue me. Sheldon, sue me.
I'm pretty sure the documents are available online.
I am trying to tell you what he did. Is the hotel close to the airport? You know what I'm talking about?
Yes, I do.
That's what Mr. Deacon Mitchell did. Who is the one who worked with WRB?
Mr. Deacon Mitchell.
Okay.
In fact, down to the payment that was made to WRB went through his accounts.
Of which he made a nice, maybe.
A nice chunk. The figures are there. It's online. I can find it. He made a nice chunk out of that.
So I don't grudge him that, you know. But I'm saying consistently that has been his conduct. And it's consistent now because he's defending the actions of Reno against poor people up in Concord. And now coming and talk about national interests. When you treat GPG, who spent millions of dollars developing a project that nobody put money into. First company that put money into oil and gas development. You know that?
Mm-hmm.
You treat them like garbage. And you come in now and talk about his national development and national this. The same person who say he don't want to hear anybody advice. He doing his own thing.
And now he's telling all of us we must, if we speak against what he's done, that it seems as though we are unpatriotic and we are against Grenada in some way if we speak against what he's done. When we understand what he's done, he's put the country in danger.
That's the reason why I raised the issue of the acquisition of that hotel property. Mm-hmm. And that hotel property has the greatest piece of beach line and the greatest acreage. They have a nice piece. They have private beach and everything else. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yes, I know what you're talking about, man. Down by the airport.
Just before you reach the airport.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't talking about the one I'm talking about the one before you reach the airport.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, in addition to that, Kaji, when you look at the PM's behavior and statements regarding the Kimpton-Kawana issue, and that they decided not to go to arbitration because Grenada has a bad record in their view at arbitration, and we should not try to go that. So they tried to settle amicably and paid out some $22 million in the first instance, and we still are not sure how many tens of millions of dollars have been paid to the investors, but we know that the developers got $22 million US so far. How does that align with what he's doing now with GPG? Because it's the same thing we're going into. We're going into a legal battle right now, and one for way more money than Grenada would have found itself in. It would not have lost the Kimpton-Kawana in my view. But if it had lost that, the money that you're talking about there is chicken feed compared to what GPG can hold Grenada in the courts for?
Well, again, I do not know what the plan of this administration is. I don't know if they have an African godfather who is willing to pay off GPG. You with me?
Yeah, well, we might find out that is the situation. There may be a godfather.
Maybe there's an African godfather that's willing to stump up the cash and then take over the development. So Grenadians, keep your fingers crossed. I don't know what else I can say. We seem to be traveling a dangerous road.
Yes, indeed. Well,
that's all I can say about this one now. I do not know. I can't say for sure what GPG is doing. I am not presently working for GPG. I cannot say where they are going, how they're going to approach the matter. So,
I mean,
we just have to read that.
We all have to go by the letter that they've sent to the Attorney General and the Prime Minister, giving them 7 days. Other than that, they're going to trigger that particular clause that speaks to, I believe it's arbitration. They're going to trigger that particular clause. And
well, I understand the Prime Minister says they don't need to answer that. It's not what a response.
Yeah. And they're also saying that they do not agree with what GPG has put into that letter. They disagree with it.
You mean what the government has put?
What the government, sorry, what GPG has put into the letter that they sent to them. The government is saying that they don't agree with what GPG says there, so they see no reason to respond to them. So because GPG says
but the point is that no. The point is that there is something called civility, which we don't seem to possess in this administration. If you get a letter from somebody who has been an investor in your country, who spent hundreds of millions in your country, and there is a dispute, and they write to you, at least you acknowledge receipt and you tell them in writing, look, you've said so, however, here is the position. You don't just ignore them, do you?
No, you don't just ignore the people, because you're going to end up in court, and how you behave now is also going to be taken into consideration in the courts.
Yes, because you're acting rudely. And that was the basis upon which the government stopped, not the government, the court stopped the acquisition of the property. Our Prime Minister knows that. So I do not know why he's treating us that way. Our Prime Minister knows that the court will take into consideration the manner in which the parties conducted themselves. Whether you are respectable to the other person who is on the other side of the agreement. Because he used that same thing against the NMP government successfully. So knowing that, why is he doing it now? Is he spiting Grenadians? You understand the question I'm asking?
Yes, I do.
As we say in Grenada, he's doing that by first bite, man. Sheldon, he's doing that first bite.
And then again is our Attorney General in the person of Claudette Joseph, who is making that statement that she doesn't see anything in that to respond to and so on. An individual that has lost the case with the ladies in Carriacou, the case with CJs, and several other cases. In fact, I'm trying to remember one that the Attorney General win so far on behalf of Grenada.
I don't want to go down that road. Let me tell you why. No, but let me tell you why. This is the first Attorney General since 2008 who was not appointed by the Judicial and Legal Services Commission. I repeat, this is the first Attorney General since 2008 who has not been appointed by the Judicial and Legal Services Commission. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying.
So that's a requirement.
No, not a requirement. No. Stop. Let Grenadians know what the truth is. You have two ways of appointing an attorney general.
And you're sounding a little off from us. I don't know if you've moved away from the device, but you're sounding a little off to us there.
I am saying that you have two ways of appointing an attorney general.
Uh-huh.
You either appoint an attorney general who is a competent lawyer. Yes?
Mm-hmm.
And to do that, you have to send all of the CV and so to the Judicial and Legal Services Commission. And they are the ones who recommend the appointment to the Governor General.
Okay. Oh, okay. I didn't understand that part. No.
Right. So it means at that point, the person or the group that's responsible for the performance of the Attorney General is the recommender. That is the Judicial and Legal Services Commission. You with me?
Okay, yes.
So if you do anything wrong, you could report to them and they could tell you go to talk Grenadian language. Right?
Yes.
The other way to get an Attorney General appointed is to take a person who is qualified in law on paper and who is either in the House of Representatives or in the Senate.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So in the House of Representatives, people want the person in Parliament. In the Senate, it is the Prime Minister who want the person in Parliament.
Right.
You getting my point now?
Oh, I understand where you're coming from, yes.
So the Prime Minister wanted Ms. Joseph in Parliament. And the Prime Minister wanted Ms. Joseph as Attorney General. So the Attorney General now in Grenada is responsible to the Prime Minister alone.
Mm-hmm.
Because once she revokes her appointment to the Senate, she can't be Attorney General. And once she revokes her appointment as a minister in cabinet, she can't be Attorney General. Am I making sense?
Yes,
Sheldon,
yes, you are. Because I'm going over the others, and yes, they did go to the Judicial and Legal Services Committee.
So I am telling you now, Grenadians need to understand that what we have is an Attorney General that's responsible only to the Prime Minister. So if she does anything wrong, don't blame her. You know who to blame?
The Prime Minister.
The person who appointed her. So get that clear. Whatever the current Attorney General does is at the footstep of the Prime Minister.
Mm-hmm.
You don't get tired of this, Sheldon.
And I hope the folks out there are understanding where we're coming from with this, because this is the person who is going to be leading the legal charge on behalf of the people of Grenada, who's already basically thrown down the gauntlet.
No, she ain't leading no charge.
Well,
they're going to pay a lawyer a few $100,000 or how much dollars to do that.
Out of taxpayer funds?
Yes, of course. What are you talking about?
So when we should be collecting, when we should be collecting money we're gonna spend.
In pocket for that?
So we should have been collecting money, not spending.
The money and spending, so they could watch. They could revoke whatever it is, and the money not coming out of their pocket. They could put people investment, millions of investment at risk, and when they sue them, we paying. You don't know that?
Because in less than 7 days, in a few days, we're going to see what GPG's next move is. They've already written, the company has written to the government. Maybe the next time government might be from the lawyers. We don't know. Right now, is the company that right? Let me see what happens after. I'm speculating here.
Sheldon, stop that nonsense. Sheldon, GPG has said that they ain't taking things lying down so. But the other point is that, okay, between you and I, is there anybody in the world who will put hundreds of millions of dollars into an investment and walk away from it?
No.
All right. So why you speculating?
They ain't doing that. They ain't doing that at all.
So Sheldon, stop. The only speculation now is whether or not somebody will talk some sense in the head of Mr. Deacon Mitchell and company.
Mm-hmm.
Who throwing away hundreds of millions for nothing? So stop, Sheldon. Stop. There is no speculation there.
Oh boy.
There is no speculation. Come on, use your common sense.
At a point in time that Grenada should have actually already been into production, we could have been making significant sums of money on a yearly basis out of, especially with the price that natural gas and oil is at these days. You'd have been making a bonanza in this period off of that.
Sheldon, I'm not going
had
to
we moved
speculate. I am not going to speculate. All I am saying is that you have to have substantial reason to terminate a contract. And when you terminate the contract, it doesn't mean that your obligations end under the contract, because there are things that the person reasonably could have expected under the contract that they would have lost. And at very least, there is the issue of the money that was actually spent. And furthermore, monies that were advanced under the contract.
Yes.
So we're talking about three different areas. And let me go over again. There is money spent in execution of the contract, right?
Right.
That's one. The hundreds of millions, right? Then under a contract, there is what you call expectation loss. Because you enter into a contract because you expect reasonably to get returns, all right?
Yes.
That's the big one. And then there are monies that are expended in furtherance of the relations under the contract, performance under the contract, because that's where the 19 or $20 million was spent in good faith. Do you understand what I'm saying now?
Yes, I do.
That money were advances to the government of Grenada. So that money was in part performance under the contract. That's the doctrine. Part performance. So maybe you should ask your AG about the implication of part performance.
She may not even understand what you're speaking about, sir.
Well, don't say that. Come on, don't be rude, Sheldon. She might pretend not to understand. But you see, the problem is that
she may feign ignorance.
Well, I don't know what she'll do, but part performance is a powerful tool when you're negotiating or you're resolving contracts. You understand me? And the monies that was spent, and that's the reason why I think the government, the Prime Minister, the lawyer Prime Minister now, is trying to deny payments under the contract. You get yourself, you know?
Yeah.
So he's trying to say you don't know why the money was paid. Okay, he doesn't want the money to be linked to the contract. You get me now? Sheldon, there are times when bold denials do not help you. and let me explain that to you. Two of us working together, and we go in and dig up yam, right? And the arrangement is that I bring in all the fork and all the labor and thing, right? And we expect to get a certain amount of money. And when we go in now, you say, oh gosh, Kaji, you know, I have bus fare and I have lunch and thing. I say, okay, I will give you money for bus fare and lunch, but that coming out from what we getting on under the when we go and dig yam.
Yes, yes.
Right? So that is what you call part performance.
Yeah.
In expectation of fulfilling the contract, I pay you some money.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, I have to get back that money, correct?
Yes, you do. Yeah.
Okay. So tell your Prime Minister, the lawyer, and he knows what I'm talking about, that he can't get rid of that money just so.
Also, as you mentioned that though, there is the one thing, and this was done very sneakily because it's to give people the impression that such a bad deal was signed by the NNP government together with GPG, where Mr. Burke was speaking of, they signed an agreement that only gives Grenada 30% of the profits of what is found in the Grenadian waters. And he did
it's a sliding percentage. Don't bother with them on that. They line.
So explain that to the listeners, because
No,
people in class tonight.
It's not a fixed percentage. My recollection, I don't have documents in front of me, Sheldon.
Yeah.
So I'm at disadvantage. I'm saying my recollection is that Minister Bowen was very, very strong on that. It was a sliding percentage. So he may start with 30 and end up with 70 or whatever it is, based on performance and production.
70 for the Grenadian people on the Grenadian side, and they end up with
the 30
I'm not
sure, but I'm saying it may start small, right? And as production and things ramps up, Grenada gets more and more and more.
Right.
That's my recollection of how it works.
How it was said yesterday gives the Grenadian people the impression that we were stuck with 30% of whatever is there.
Well, they could say whatever they want. It's not the first time they misrepresent the truth. So what? You're panicking about that?
Some people bound to lie.
well, that was the person name. That's how Dr. Mitchell used to call him, you know.
Some people bound to lie.
Sheldon, that was the name Dr. Mitchell gave him. And Grenadian spit out that already, you know. So I ain't bothering.
My goodness. Anyway, Brother Hood, I don't know if you have anything final you want to tell the people regarding this particular issue. We know we have other issues to speak about, but we're not modeling everything together tonight. We deal with this one and this one specifically.
On this issue?
Yeah. So go right ahead.
Let me tell you this. This is not going to go away. Mm-hmm. Maybe the statement by the Prime Minister and so was done under pressure because he wants to call the election date. I'm just speculating here. But I want to tell my fellow Grenadians, the 200 and something million is not going to go away. The 20 or how much million that was paid is not going to go away. And worse yet, the expectation losses under the contract will not go away because that's a big sum.
Mm-hmm. That's the possible $1 billion sum. Possible.
That is the big sum. Mm-hmm. That's the big sum. That's the big sum. You understand me? Because there were other ways of dealing with the matter than trying to revoke the license and cancel the agreement. You can't do it just so. Mm-hmm. As a matter of fact, in times of dispute, you can't cancel the PSC based on my understanding and my recollection. Mm-hmm. You can't just come on your own and just cancel the agreement like that. There's a procedure in place.
A dispute agreement, a way that you agree, dispute resolution.
Yeah, there's a dispute resolution. There's an internal mechanism in the agreement to resolve disputes, and you can't go against it. Mm-hmm. You see? So I understand what they are trying to say to the people of Grenada, but they're not being upfront and honest with the Grenadian people. I can say that.
Yeah.
They're not being upfront and honest.
Well, I would have said that they're putting the cart before the horse here, but the thing is, these are the people that kill the horses, so it's a different situation. They kill the horse, and they maybe burn the cart too, because to put us in this situation is indeed a worrying one. I think all Grenadians need to be concerned and worried about what is taking place here. And again, the trend continues. You've spoken about it in the Neelan Franklin issue. You've spoken about it in several other issues, where this government takes no interest in following the laws of Grenada. They just totally ignore the law and go ahead doing what they want to do. They do not follow the law. And it's a trend. It's a pattern.
Sheldon.
Yes, sir.
Sheldon. The AG and I said whatever the AG say, put it on the doorstep of the Prime Minister. Mm-hmm. The AG said to me, a former AG, that you can't tell the government how to run the business. Hush up.
Mm-hmm. I've shown the letter. Okay? I've shown the letter.
Okay? So that tells you exactly what the stance of this government is. We're doing what we want to do, and you can't tell us what to do. When things backfire, then all of a sudden, they say, okay, all of us is Grenadians, all of us are the band together. Before that, I'm doing what I want. So, I am cool with that. The problem is that we have put the ship in the hand of people who can't steer. I say that with no apology. Because I warned Grenadians, and maybe that is why the Prime Minister vexed with me. I warned Grenadians, I didn't put my mouth in basket. I said, if I have a bread shop, and my son come and I work in the bread shop, I'm not going to start him as manager of my bread shop. I'll bring him in my bread shop, make him learn how to sell bread, how to cook bread, how to talk to clients, and gradually I put him in charge of the bread shop. And I said publicly, you can't put a novice to run the country. And all of my fears are now being realized. Sheldon, that's my full stop.
Brother Cadgington Hood, we want to thank you so very much. I know the people were longing to hear your voice on this particular issue. From the moment the notice went out and then followed by the press conference, many people have contacted us. They're very, very concerned about what this means for the state, and especially in context of what you hinted may happen a few weeks ago, when you did say that this is the direction that things seem to be going. And we're just very, very glad to finally hear from you on this issue. And we want to thank you for taking the time to be with us tonight. You've been on for
General,
over an hour.
General, let me make one more word.
Yeah.
One thing to Grenadian people. In the words of a song, baby, you ain't seen nothing yet. Ban your belly. Ban your belly. We heading for the rocks.
Yes, indeed. Brother Cadgington Hood, thank you so very much. You do enjoy the rest of your night tonight.
Okay.
All right, sir. Thank you.
You too.
Yes, indeed, folks. We once again want to thank Brother Cadgington Hood for being on with us tonight and having that conversation with us regarding what you've seen coming out by the government there. I mean, it's dangerous. It is dangerous what we're seeing there. Yeah? We, the Grenadian people, are the ones who are going to end up having to pay. We are the ones who are going to end up facing the consequences of the actions of this government. We are the ones who are going to end up having to, from the defense, and the GPG has an excellent case. There is a historical perspective to the people who run the hydrocarbons committee. There is a historical perspective of how these individuals have treated with GPG over the years. 2 NDC administrations, exact same mirror behavior, same behavior. Not engaging with them, all sorts of things. I could even go to an event that happened early in 2013 by the then NDC administration, because the elections hadn't taken place yet. But early in 2013, when the government used agents of the state to terrorize the members of the Global Petroleum Group, the then Tillman Thomas administration. So it's not one thing. There's a historical perspective to what the NDC administrations have done to that group. They weren't worried about they were worried about the Kim Turnbull Kawana and believing that these individuals would have won and Grenada would have to pay a set of money. But it doesn't seem as though they're interested in this particular one. And we're not speaking the kind of small money. This ain't no 22 million you're talking about here, that you're going to go and pay the people who had Kawana Bay, and that's the end of it. And then you have to find tens of millions to pay the investors. This is not that. This one starts at 200 million. This one starts at 10 times the amount of money. Nearly 10 times the amount of money that they pay there. This one starts at 200 million. And that's just for what the people put in to the development. We're not speaking there about the potential earnings in the future that the individuals could have made if the government had worked with them in good faith. Let me repeat the words, because former Attorney General was very clear on that when he said in good faith, because the government has not shown that they were willing to work with the company in good faith. And when they're speaking about, the money and who get money and who hide money and so, just remind them that we do have the letter from the Hydrocarbons Technical Working Group. We do have the letter that was sent to Mr. Cadgington Hood. We do have the letter that was sent to him. And it does speak to, here, number 10, bank transfer. It gives the date of the bank transfer, the amount of money that was sent at that point in time. It has a letter that was sent to the Prime Minister in 2023. We know who the Prime Minister was in 2023 on the 7th of March. Yeah? From the Prime Minister to GPG confirming the financial advances under the production sharing agreement. So there's not even a letter from GPG to the Prime Minister. It's from the Prime Minister to GPG. So the same person talking about the money, the same Deacon Mitchell, because this is not Dr. the Right Honorable Keith Mitchell. This is 7th of March 2023. So the same Prime Minister confirming the financial advances under the production sharing agreement. So Deacon Mitchell wrote to GPG and confirmed about that money. And then you have the note from the Accountant General from back in 2017 here. So when they're talking about money disappear, tell them check themselves and see if they could remember. Because this is a letter from the Prime Minister. I didn't even notice that the first time. I thought it was from GPG to them. From the Prime Minister to GPG, confirming the financial advances under the production sharing agreement. Make sure people like Randall and them who are all over social media talking nonsense see those letters. They could ask Deacon Mitchell for view of them. Yeah, because they're all over there giving the impression that somebody thief money. Somebody thief, the money disappear. Nonsense. Yeah, nonsense. We're going to get into this deeper next week, because if they think it's 2 videos I have. All you know, they laugh, eh? Folks, we need your donations. Don't forget us. I still see the thing at 2 days now asking. I still seen it at 0. But that is okay. Don't worry. We will work it out somehow. Folks, that's all the time we have for Talking Points tonight. It's been wonderful being here with you. And indeed, we will be back on Wednesday with more Talking Points for you. For those of you heading out to the various shows, those of you who may be going late to shows now, I'll keep you back a bit. You're now going to Queen Show. Do enjoy the rest of your night. To those of you who are going to the shows tomorrow and Saturday and Sunday, who are going and play in Juve on Monday and Tuesday, who's going to Pretty Mass and Pageant, all of that, we want to wish all of you a safe and enjoyable carnival. If you're afraid to lose an item, don't bring it with you now. Yeah? Don't bring it with you. It's not that somebody go thief it, you could lose it. Yeah? Don't bring it with you. Secure your home, secure your vehicle properly. If you're parking up your vehicle to go and play Pretty Mass or to go and play Monday Night Mass or to go and jump jab, make sure that you don't leave expensive things on the seat and you park your vehicle in some kind of place. It have fellas go break your window and take it. It's just a fact. You want to leave your phone, you want to leave your bag, your purse on the car seat, and fellas passing and they look inside and they could see it, they're going to break your vehicle and take it. You want to take off your expensive watch and thing and put it there, or you leave your phone in your vehicle and you put it there, fellas going to break your vehicle and take it. So it's either you don't go with it, or you park your vehicles proper places. And get the busman our money, leave the vehicle home. Yeah, man. Leave the vehicle home and take a busman. Get the busman and them a little blind. Get the busman and them a little money and thing, man. Thing rough. Yeah, that Juve morning, Monday Night Mass and thing, let them fellas make our money. Yeah, leave the vehicle home. Yeah, and you take a bus. Might be the first time you take one in a year, 2 years, all kind of take bus. You know, help out them busmen and them. Folks, that is all the time. Don't drink and drive. Don't get involved, and please resolve things amicably, no fighting. We want to make sure that all the people we go into the next few days with, that we come out at the carnival with all of those people as well, healthy and well. All right, folks, that's all the time we have for Talking Points tonight. It has been wonderful being here with you. You only take 2 days out of my vacation, eh? I'm taking it back when it's Christmas. So let's go here. Yes, indeed. Folks, that's all the time we have for tonight. And everything you say and do it safe and secure. We want to be speaking to and with you, and definitely not about you. I am out.
Baba Timande, oya, Baba Timande, orile, oh. Baba Timande, oya, Baba Timande, orile. I went to a Shango party, Shango people start to dance. I went to a Shango party, Shango people start to prance. Them Shango wailing their body, some of them looking real irie. If you see them inside the band, dancing and shaking one another hand. But the thing what will impress me, the way them Shango singing their melody. Iman Shalewa, Babawa, Shango, 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 Orila. Iman Shalewa, Babawa, Shango, 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 Shashara. Iman Shalewa, Babawa, Shango, Shango, why, Shango, Shango, why, Shango, Shango, why, that was the Shango's cry. Shango. A woman plays she catch power. He dab up she face with some flour. She chose herself all on the ground, making real movements in front of the drum. She run and she touch a woman head. In 4 days you're going to dead. You could see you know I go dead. How much time your husband come on me dead? Shango man, please listen to me. Your power buried in the cemetery. Iman Shalewa, Babawa, Shango, 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 Orila. Iman Shalewa, Babawa, Shango, 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 Shashara. Iman Shalewa, Babawa, Shango, Shango, why, Shango, Shango, why, Shango, Shango, why, that was the Shango's cry. Them drummers beating up the drums, see them Shango tumble down. Them drummers giving them rhythm, see them how they spinning wrong. One raise a ram goat like a jet, dancing with the goat around his neck. Dear people, that is not a joke. He put down the goat and cut out the throat. Make me all in the mud. Take a calabash and start drinking blood. Iman Shalewa, Babawa, Shango, 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 Orila. Iman Shalewa, Babawa, Shango, 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 Shashara. Iman Shalewa, Babawa, Shango, Shango, why, Shango, Shango, why, Shango, Shango, why, that was the Shango's cry. Orile, oh. Baba Timande, oya, Baba Timande, orile, oh. Baba Timande, oya, Baba Timande, orile. Shango. Them Shango have a little house. Don't know what the hell they have in it. See them bending like a little mouse, bending very low to peep in it. Some say they have their bakude, that's why they just bend and dingole. Shango is part of our culture, beating at the drums come from Africa. I don't care what nobody say, I'm dancing in the Shango band from today. Iman Shalewa, Babawa, Shango, 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 Orila. Iman Shalewa, Babawa, Shango, 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 Shashara. Iman Shalewa, Babawa, Shango, Shango, why, Shango, Shango, why, Shango, Shango, why, that was the Shango's cry. Shango. Shango, Shango, Babawa, 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 Shango, Shango, woy, Shango, Shango, woy, Shango, Shango, woy, Shango, Shango, woy, Shango, Shango, Babawa, Shango, Shango, Babawa, Shango, Shango, Babawa. Shango, Shango, Babawa.
you understand, as a Chukaisonian, I'm from the same tradition. In my struggle for recognition, body by man and Calypsonian, in my fight to uplift the woman, in the face of discrimination, my enemies, they won't be pleased, they want to bring me to my knees, but I won't succumb, I never run, 'cause don't forget, cowards die many times before they're dead.
All the time for this me, because all the can kiss me, all the better miss me. Come me fans them, what's this? And in the air all night, this year we come out to fight. They move with them, make it right, the way them treat me, so come on up night and sing. And in the air and light a fire, boy, boy, boy. And in the air gunshot a fire, put up, go, go, go. And in the air and strike a light a boy, 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 boy. And in the air and blaze it higher, put up, go, go, go. Swear them do me now, say in the so come on up. Tell them you ain't taking that. So them play me slow, slow and them cut me short. Them diss me and me found get hot. What? You saw them do me last year in the soca mona. Me fans say that a wicked act. Me find so you know. You saw them play me slow, slow and them cut me short. Them threat me so me come to talk. Police man answer me, tell me why you play me so when everything done plan already, everything was set to go. More Chinese fast like lightning, no they choose to play it slow. Bribe you come and tell me this is what me fans them want to know. And in the air light a fire, boy, boy, boy. And in the air gunshot a fire, put up, go, go, go. And in the air strike a like a boy, 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 boy. And in the air blaze it higher, put up, go, go, go. You swear them do me, 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 you swear them do me. I love the act love me, but believe me, my fans, I pray them say for me to make it. I'm man have to go and take a bed. You singing good and lizard, put and beat me 3 times with a spade, and after that I have to swallow up and can you miss a bed? And in the air and light a fire, boy, boy, boy. And in the air gunshot a fire, put up, go, go, go. And in the air and strike a like a boy, 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 boy. And in the air and blaze it higher, put up, go, go, go. Swear them do me last year in the soca mona. Tell them you ain't taking that. You saw them play me slow, slow and them cut me short. Them diss me and me fans get hot. What? You saw them do me last year in the soca mona. Me fans say that a wicked act. Me find so you know. You saw them play me slow, slow and them cut me short. Them threat me so me come to talk. This one sing, that one sing. Everything was glad and tight. The screen was on, the band played good and still them had on them feel like. How come when time for me to sing, it seems like if I have a blight. The police play me just like if them don't know what is wrong from right. And in the air and light a fire, boy, boy, boy. And in the air gunshot a fire, put up, go, go, go. And in the air and strike a light a boy, 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 boy. And in the air and blaze it higher, put up, go, go, go. I know why them treat me so. It's all because they black on me go. But one thing me got to let them know why the butter when them do they can't stop the flow again. I know why them treat me so. It's all because they black on me go. But one thing me got to let them know why the butter when them do they can't stop the flow again. And in the air and light a fire, boy, boy. And in the air gunshot a fire, put up, go, go, go. And in the air and strike a light a boy, 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 boy. And in the air and blaze it higher, put up, go, go, go. You swear them do me, 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 you swear them do me. Them come together, work together, then them go and plan them thing. Them do that just in truth because them don't want Chinese man to win. Them slow and them cut me short. Them diss me and me fans get hot. What? You see what them do me last saying this soca monarch? Me fans say that a wicked act. Me find so too, you know. You see how them play me slow and them cut me short. Them fret me so me come to talk. I come last already, last again. Well, last is just my position. Well, between you, my people, I don't really give a damn. What's important to me, I have to keep on moving on. And I know that for sure one day I must accomplish my vision. And in the air, light a fire, boy. And in the air, gunshot a fire, put up, go. And in the air, strike a light a boy. And in the air, I'm lazy tire, put up, go. You see what them do me? 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 But they call me first and they put me last, but tell them I come to play.